Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I am on my way home. it's 4 days, well 5 days I guess, into my vacation, and I have 8 days altogether. Sorry about the windshield wipers, but I'm telling you, this wasn't a planned vacation really. I mean, I had told Adam it would be a good time for me to go on vacation, and when his sister started acting like she did, well, I knew she would, but I had decided that I might as well take this vacation. And well, today, as you see, is a rainy day, but it's also almost freezing. And let me tell you some of the things that all around that just kind of went wrong. Okay, now, and I thought about this, it's going to sound like I'm making excuses, which I don't need to. You know, I am an adult. But yeah, I want to talk about some of the things that had happened. Like, well, I just left the hotel, and it's morning, 7:50 right now. But there was a police car, well, it was a SUV, sitting right out front of the, the hotel. And I'm like, I wonder why they're there. But yeah, it could be because like one morning, I guess, I couldn't sleep, and it was still like, it was like 3:30 or something. And I don't know if I looked out then or when I went out at 6 or something. I don't remember. Excuse me. But there was the person who had the apartment across from me had their door open. Okay. And I think it was earlier I went out or something. I don't know. And I saw that they had their door open. That's not a good sign at a hotel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At least that's in my mind. And yeah. But I let the young woman, the one that had the flu, that had just gotten over the flu 2 weeks ago, told me that she had it 2 weeks before then. Well, I told her about it, and she said, yeah, her eyes kind of got a little big, and I'm sure she's seen it before. But the reason she was actually in my hotel room was because the air conditioner was making a bad smell, and the TV had just the second time something went wrong with the TV, and she found that somebody had apparently taken the one of the cables before I was there. And I'm like, okay. And but she was in it, and part of the time there was a guy, and he was fixing the air conditioner because the air conditioner had a smell. Now, you know, I have allergies, and it was starting to smell every time the air conditioner part of it would kick off, and it would just be air, and it had like a mildew mold kind of smell. And he opened it up, and I saw it, and on some kind of they didn't really have, I don't think it had, yeah, it did have one little small filter, but on some part of it, the actual air conditioner had like I don't know what you would call it, but it was mold. Really thick. He washed it with a towel. I was like, oh, yuck. Well, it was still doing that after that. It would have to be on air, and then at one point I turned the heater on to see maybe it'll burn some of it off or something. I don't know. And it didn't do it then, but it would have to be on cold. Well, this is still winter time, isn't it? You know. Anyway, I had called Adam last night and told him that I was going to come by today and get some of my medication, my blood pressure pill. I have some. I have a few, but I'm going to be out of them for 2 or 3 days. And I had actually gone to the one pharmacy and said, I want to get all my medication at this pharmacy, but the problem with that is one of the blood pressure medication, there's only a certain kind, and one kind that they had given me that they had at their other location made my blood, that's when my blood pressure went high, and it's a different pill. And so he said, the pharmacist said he could order it for me, and then I could get all my medications at one place. And so the thing about it is, so far as I know, the medication hasn't come in. So all these things were kind of coming together, and plus there's a funny thing about the clothing, and it's definitely teaching me a lesson. Okay, in the clothing, I mentioned, I think before in another video, that I had just decided that day I wasn't going to go back and get clothes, and I had a bunch of clothes in the back that were mine that we were going to give to charity, and they were in garbage bags and different kinds of bags. really. I think one or two is in a garbage bag. And they were mine, you know. And we never made it to the to Adam's form of charity is he likes to go to poor neighborhoods and either just open up the back of the SUV and, you know, if he sees anybody standing around, say, y'all come get it. He's done that before. And before he, I think the last time, maybe the next to the last time, he was near a church at the time, and there was an elderly man and an elderly woman coming from the church, and they come in. We had blankets and stuff like that, and I wasn't with him, but he said that the elderly man, and it was a African American neighborhood, African American church. Not that it makes any difference, but he said the man, practically made him cry. I think it did, because the elderly man was saying, "Oh, now I have a blanket for the winter time," and there was a woman there, and she was saying, "How I got sheets for my bed," and yeah, that was pretty sad. Okay, but anyway, the clothes I had put in the back, now I'd just gone through my closet and picked out a bunch of clothes, and that I no longer wear and everything, and I didn't really go through and look at feel the fabric or anything like that. Well, when I went to this hotel, I was the charity. I didn't have but what I had on me, and plus the clothes in the back. I didn't pack anything, and so I brought some of the clothes in, and most of them were things like I couldn't wear. I had bought and I couldn't wear because after washing them, they, like pants, they shrunk up. And with me, I'm a tall woman, and well, my legs are long. I'm tall, but clothing is always, shirts, pants, and all that. It's always been like that. They're going to shrink up. And if I buy the longer ones, the ones for tall women, like extra tall women, those tend to be a little bit too long, and then I'll drag, as I walk. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm trying to drive slow because just a little bit north of here, they're having, I think on the Weather Channel, they said called it freezing, thunder, sleet, or it was thunder, freezing, and rain, because he said both at one point. And yeah, I've heard it. I've been through that. But anyway, I don't know how icy the roads are. It's not below freezing, or it's not freezing or below. It says 35 actually. But they said, you could see it. Anyway, okay, where was I? But anyway, the clothes that I had with me, they were bad. In fact, when I decided last night I was going to go home, I didn't tell him. I told him I was just going to go and pick up some stuff, which I don't have a coat with me and really warm clothes. But I think what I'm going to do is go home, and when the weather's better tomorrow, go back tomorrow, not today. And then maybe just stay during the day and come back at night, because I did not like sleeping there. There was some people come in at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever and make above one night, making a bunch of noise. And yeah. But, I don't know. Getting away during the day might be a good thing. Getting away from his sister, Talking about what was I wearing this morning, last night, whenever I decided to go home, that I was going to do this to go home, I was wearing a pair of sweatpants that were white and a sweatshirt that was purple. Okay, these were not something I meant to match. It was just clothes that I was going to give to charity. But I had a blue one too. And that one and these two, I had to turn inside out because the inside of them was so rough. Now I remember that once, I saw them, once I tried to put them on or something, but, I was thinking this was what I was going to give to charity. That was a lesson in and of itself, to watch what you're giving to charity. But the rest of them, a lot of them were okay. Like I said, it was just something that had shrunk up, and like pants that shrunk up, and even shirts. One of them that the arms became like they were supposed to be long sleeved, and once I washed them, they short sleeved. Now, I don't know what that trend is, but yeah, materials sometimes they do that, So not having, since I was wearing clothes that I was giving away because they didn't fit me right or something, that's uncomfortable. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking I'm starting to get to be like a little bit of a princess myself, If you can't rough it every once in a while, and it was kind of like roughing it, seriously. And that brings me to the next one is, I knew, I didn't have a little kitchenette in there. It was just a refrigerator and microwave, a small refrigerator, small microwave. That really, you can't eat that great. Eating at restaurants every day, I never thought was a good idea because they put too much sodium. I hardly ever put sodium in my food. I sprinkle a little bit, like garlic salt, and just a little bit of salt, if at all. Okay, and in restaurants and stuff, some of them, that's what they, that's how they hook it, is all that sodium. That's what, I'm just being conspiracy theorist here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just too salty for me. Okay, I'm getting a little paranoid here. There's some cars flying by here. in the rain, and it could be a little ice. They're flying. But yeah. So anyway, that was another thing, was not having a good diet and what I could buy. I didn't want to go to a lot of places. I don't want to drive and get something at every day for lunch somewhere. And it just wound up being too much sodium, too much carbohydrates. And like I said, these little things in my mind. But I did think to myself, even from the beginning, is how when you are in a place that isn't like home, any apartment really isn't going to be like home. I mean, not apartment, but hotel, but how well do you adjust? Now, I can adjust. I could adjust. There's no problem. But at the same time, knowing my home was just around the corner, yeah. Okay, I say just around the corner, but it's not just around the corner. But, in the same suburb, yeah, it was just too many little things. Plus that smell of that air conditioner heater system they had. That was the major one because, yeah. There's also another one is I couldn't comfortably wash my hair. The first time, I could go use the bathtub, which I hardly ever take a bath. And if I do, I'd shower off after I take the bath, But, using the shower, standing up in that bathtub, I kept worrying I was going to fall out of it and hit my head. And, I was doing that thing. How many of us do that thing every once in a while? But you could just see, and I could see some kind of disaster was bound to happen on my trip, because they always do, Me and Adam did this one time. We just packed up and went back home, from our vacation. When things start going, and a lot of little things start going wrong, and you say, no, I think I want to go home. But anyway, I can see me going back there today, not today, not in this weather, but going back there because I had the room until checkout on Sunday. And it does depend on if his family's coming here too, but I can see myself going there during the day and just staying during the day just to get away, Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up and get home and take a shower, wash my hair, yeah, and eat something good, some real eggs, eggs I made that don't have a ton of sodium in them. Okay, that's enough of this video for now. I think the pop-ups are working again. I don't know what it was. Some of my videos it didn't, some did. I don't know. But click the circle to subscribe to this channel. One that rectangles to watch another video on this channel. Like, subscribe, comment, share if you would. And I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.